Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it away.
I had to grab something really quick. Sorry about that. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So if you saw me sliding on in there, that was me sliding on into tonight's live. But welcome in, everybody. If you were just with me, good to see you just an hour ago. But if you're new and you're coming in for the first live, welcome in. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. If you are new, let us know that you're new. Sometimes we don't know. We do know. Actually, we do know when there's new people. But if you are new, go ahead. And if you want to come in the chat and say hello to us, if you guys don't mind, while we're getting everything up for the live, if you want to hit the like button, that does help your girl out tremendously. The faster that we do that, the faster, we get into the algorithm. So that's why we always ask you right in the beginning before we even show you anything. Which is crazy. How are you going to know if you're going to like the show? You could always take the like back. You could always do that. You could always do that. But welcome in, everybody. I saw that we had all 3 mods in here. Rhonda came back. We have Infinity. Did I see Infinity? I think that's what I saw. Infidel. Sorry. No, I went like zoomed past the name. Hey, Maga Mama. Welcome in. It's good to see everybody again. Hey, Sue Ann. You're new this time, I think. Just got doing my stroke exercise and a pre-roll already. Catherine, you are doing better than most, my friend. That's good job, Catherine, for doing those. I know that like doing any kind of physical therapy or anything like that sucks. And I'm listening, and I hear you, and you're doing an excellent job. Keep up with that shit. You're doing great. Hey, Canvas. Hey, Pete. They've been trying to get me to go to physical therapy for like, I don't know, since I got out of the hospital 10 years ago. Hey, Legal Lacey. Hey, Cindy. I'll get there when I can, you know. I think that they actually will come into your house now, so maybe we'll do that. Hey, Sirius. Well, welcome in, everybody. Hey, Willows. I didn't go through all the names, but hey, DM. I went through most of them. But if I missed you, just say, hey, you missed me. Hey, True Crime Otherwise. Hey, Crafty. It's good to see everybody in here. I feel like my cheeks were on fire. I didn't sleep today out at the pool, but I did go to the pool for a minute. Finally caught alive. Nick, there we go. You're here. Skidor. I know. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Oh, with the bourbon and with the bat. Yeah. Hey, Brandywine. My mom used to have bats that lived above her apartment when she had an apartment. I don't do well. It was a whole attic full of them, but they couldn't they finally got rid of them, but they had to wait until it was dark so that the bats were out before they put the there was a missing shingle or something before they put that back up. But if you think about it, all those bats would have went back to that hole in it. They didn't have a home yet left. I didn't feel bad for them. Hey, Loves to Lurk, how you doing? It's good to see ya. Bingo was her name. Oh, Aries. The University of Wisconsin won beer pong this weekend. Wow. Didn't know that. Now, see, I'm surprised I wasn't invited to be on their beer pong team because your girl used to be able to throw a beer pong ball. Now I don't know. Now I don't know. Well, no, I think I still could do it because you'd close one eye, you know. So yeah, I think I could do that one. There's a few things, I can't do anymore. They say I don't know, catching is one of them. I'm not good at catching. I'm terrible at catching, actually. I used to be good at it. Now Vincent just throws things to me, but when he does, he knows I'm not going to catch it. And if I do anything, I'm going to swat it out of my way. And I used to be actually a catcher on the softball team. One eye is not very good though. So he always just throws it right where it'll land right before me. I was going to ask, I was just talking about her. I think, what was it? 2 days ago? I think it was, I'm trying to think. It was just the other day I talked about her, but yeah, let me know. If you need any help, let me know if I need to get a plane ticket or bail money, whichever, Okay, I was just reading the chat. Hey, Squeaky, where the heck have you been? Where you been, Squeaky? I don't think you've been in here for 3 nights, and how dare you have a life? How dare you have a life out of this chat? We've all been worried sick about you. You spent a whole week. Well, it felt like you were gone for 3 days. Were you gone a week? Then we got to catch you up. I don't know what we've missed. You missed our whole book. It may come to bail money. We're the chat for you. Okay, so this is what I was telling you guys about yesterday on our live, but we had some other things I wanted to cover, so I thought we would cover this tonight. And also there's a podcast that came out, and then News Nation just came out with a video from Brian Enton that is he's outside the supermax and he goes inside and he gives us a tour of it. So we've showed pictures of where, Brian may be spending his next, however many years he's on this earth. But Brian Enton actually went inside there today. So I thought that'd be pretty interesting. So we'll get into that and we'll get into this timeline. And this is an interactive kind of timeline. I don't know. It was pretty awesome that they put this together. So it goes over everything too. So I'll go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, if you guys don't mind, just hit the like button for me. If you want to subscribe to the channel, we'd love to have you. Also, I will put in the chat really quick before I forget the link for the channel membership, and I'll pin it up at the top in case anybody wants to be a member of our wonderful, wonderful channel. We do have the best. And we'll be doing our members giveaway here. I think we're going to do it like the last Sunday of either Saturday or Sunday of every month. So, okay. Footsteps of the Idaho Killer. Hours before a heinous crime which instilled fear into the small town of Moscow, Idaho, and rattled the entire nation, 6 friends stood smiling on the porch of their off-campus student accommodation. Bryan Kohberger, dressed in dark clothing, donning a mask and without any obvious motive, would that night sneak into their home at 1122 King Road and stab 4 of them to death, spattering walls with blood as he prowled from room to room. It's weird saying. It's weird, like, I don't know how to get this whole thing out of here. But it's weird not saying allegedly, because we don't have to say that anymore. So this is the picture, and it's going to show over here what I'm reading. So it's going to say survived or dead beside each one. And then it highlights the picture of the person that they're talking about. So if you don't know who these people are after all this time, I think everybody does, but I told you a timeline. We're going to give it to y'all, the whole thing. So this is Dylan Mortensen. She survived. Dylan Mortensen, 19, was a sophomore at the time of the murders. And this is their ages at the time. So taken under the wing of the older students, she moved into the King Road house in the summer of 2022. Like Xana Kernodle and Maddie Mogen, Mortensen was a member of Pi Beta Phi, and her big was Kernodle's best friend, Emily Alant. According to friends and court documents, she was a self-described scaredy cat and had called Alant over to the home multiple times because she had heard noises that freaked her out. One time she called them to come over, and it was because a pan had fallen from like the stove or whatever. A pan had fallen from like the counter to the floor, to the ground, and that scared her so bad. Instead of her going out and looking, she called the 2 people that she would call, to come over on this day. So following the murders, Mortensen transferred universities, according to her stepmother. Kaylee Goncalves died. The 21-year-old from Ratham in Idaho grew up in a big family, the middle of 5 children to Christy and Steve. She and Mogen were inseparable. They've been with the best friends from 6th grade, even choosing to study at the University of Idaho together. Goncalves was in her senior year, majoring in general studies, and was a big sister in the Alpha Phi sorority. Ambitious, can't say that word for some reason, ambitious, she had already lined up a job in IT for when she graduated. The role meant she was about to move across the country for a new start in Austin, Texas. Described as strong-willed and having a fierce personality, friends of Goncalves said she was the best person to give advice. Maddie Mogen died. Mogen, 21, grew up as an only child in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, with her mother, Karen Laramie, and stepfather, Scott Laramie. On the surface, she was quiet. She was a quiet, girly girl who loved pink, a balance to her more outgoing best friend. But Mogen was also known for her sense of humor and unwavering kindness towards others, with her mother saying she just had that genuine love that's impossible to describe. Mogen was in her senior year studying marketing, a member of Pi Beta Phi sorority, and worked at the Mad Greek restaurant in Moscow. She planned to move to Boise after graduating, where her boyfriend of 2 years, Jack Schreiringer, lives. My glasses, these would probably help. Or was living, it says. So then we have Ethan Chapin, died. The 20-year-old was in his freshman year at the University of Idaho, where he majored in sports management and was part of Sigma Chi fraternity. The athletic, outgoing student grew up in Conway, Washington, and his parents, Stacy and Jim, and triplet siblings, Maisie and Hunter, who attended the same college. Chapin and Kernodle were dating, with the Chapins fondly noting how the young couple were getting serious. Friends and family remember Chapin for his for his lively, fun personality, with his mother telling the Daily Mail that he was the clown of the family and he lifted any room that they were all in. I don't know how these things get so deep dirty. Like, Maybe I should get some of those little like wipes or something. I feel like that didn't make it any better. Whoa, that did not. What the heck's on these things? I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get these things on real quick. I'm getting that little thing. I got the little cloth out, so maybe this will help. Or maybe I just need new glasses. Okay, that's good enough. I mean, I could have like a big old fingerprint in the middle of it, and I probably still wouldn't be able to see it. So we're good. We're good. Okay. Sorry about that. So Xana Kernodle is the next one, and they highlighted her there. So the 20-year-old was in her junior year at the University of Idaho, where she majored in marketing and was Pi Beta Phi sorority sister like Mogen. She also worked at the Mad Greek restaurant. Before going off to college, Kernodle grew up in Avondale, Arizona, and then Post Falls, Idaho, with her father, Jeff, and older sister, Jasmine. Her mother had battled drug addiction and was in and out of jail throughout her childhood. To those who knew her, Kernodle was the life and soul of the party, someone who was always having fun and acting spontaneously. And also want to say that her mother is out of rehab and doing very, very, very well. So, best friend Alant pointed to the way Kernodle first introduced herself to the sorority as a representation of her vibrant, outgoing character. Xana pronounced Xanax without the X. She recalled in the new book, The Idaho 4, An American Tragedy. I was supposed to say, did they get most of their information out of that book? Because I'm like, I'm reading some of this and I'm just like, that sounds like it came from the book. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. Bring your tissues tomorrow. And then after this live, it'll actually send you over to that live tomorrow. I'm going to come on at 10:45 because they don't usually start on time and it's at 11. And so, they usually don't start on time. So we'll have plenty of time. I think if I came on any earlier than that, we'd just be staring at each other. So, I mean, there's plenty to talk about, but I think it's just going to be a humbling day. Like I think it's going to be a hard day for the families. So Bethany Funk, and also Bryan Kohberger's family too. I mean, in essence, they're losing their son officially. Like officially tomorrow, I feel like it's official. Like I don't know. It's like the last we'll see of them. I mean, other than unless it's like an Alec Murdaugh deal where his pictures get leaked from his iPad. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be like one of those sayonaras, Nice not knowing you. Bethany Funk. It's been a crazy ride. But then all the documents will be out, so we'll be able to learn more about the case. So Bethany Funk survived. Like Mortensen, Bethany Funk was also a 19-year-old sophomore and Pi Beta Phi sister back in November 2022. She was Mogen's little at the sorority, and the 21-year-old had invited her to move into the home where she occupied a bedroom on the first floor. Following the murder, she moved back home to Reno, Nevada, and transferred to the University of Nevada. There, she played soccer, majored in public health, and was later nominated in Alpha Chi Omega Nevada Sweetheart in December 2024. So she seems like she was able to do a little, I mean, like we heard from all accounts, like Dylan Mortensen can't even go outside. Like she's playing video games and trying to get her social skills back, just doing that, like, online. So it's just sad. So this says minute by minute how the murders happened. And I really wish this was around a while back because this would have been nice. I thought that it started somewhere else. Hold on. Let me see. I guess not. Just kidding. Sorry. This makes me dizzy going in and out. So sorry. Nope, this is right. Okay, sorry. So at around 9 p.m. I thought that there was more. Hold on, let me see. I thought there was more to this, but there's not. I don't want to make you guys dizzy. Let me stop sharing this with you for just a second. Nope, that's right. Okay, I was just making sure. I thought it started. Okay, I guess it did start here. Sorry about that. Look at that. Lord Mama's been a member for 9 months. It's a long time, Lord Mama. It's a long time. Thank you so much for being a member for so long. We appreciate you around here. Thank you. Oh, I just heard my dog sniffle. The gray one wasn't feeling good today. Oh, geez, it's been a day. Okay. Yeah, the one's just scratching herself. Okay. At around 9 p.m. So I have it kind of covered up. Let me go down a little bit. There we go. This is going to give us like a play-by-play. It's going to show us each, like it's going to take us like on a little Google Maps tour. So at around 9 p.m., Chapin arrived at a party at the Sigma Chi frat house on Nez Perez Drive, close to the King Road house. Kernodle was already there. Chapin and his triplet brother Hunter were part of the fraternity, located only a short walk across the field. This is where I thought it was going to start. So, okay. I got you now. Best friends Mogen and Goncalves chose to go to the corner club bar in downtown Moscow. At 1:30, they left the bar and walked to the grub truck, the town's only late night food truck, and ordered a carbonara pasta. The pair were captured on the truck's Twitch live stream, chatting to some other students that were there while they waited for their food or for their order. Didn't even know about Twitch until this case. Never looked at a Twitch stream, not a day in my life, until this case. Welcome in, everybody. I was up at the top still, or like not at the top, but I was up there a little bit. So, you want to go out there? Hold on one second. Let me let her. Let me let her go. Sorry about that. I left the door kind of open, but it was like not enough for her. I know that she'll want to get up here soon. So. Okay. So then between 1:56 and 1:59, and it's no longer there, but Mogen and Goncalves then texted designated sober driver and get a ride home. The two other roommates, Funk and Mortensen, also spent the night out in the college town. At 2, Mogen, Goncalves, Mortensen, and Funk all got back at 1122 King Road. Kernodle and Chapin were still at Sigma Chi party, but arrived home not long later. According to the two survivors, the 4 women gathered in Goncalves' bedroom or room and chatted. I still, in my mind, I still think she went to sleep in that room, in her room. Because, I mean, why would you guys all like go up to her bedroom and then leave her bedroom and go to Maddie's room? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It never will. But it says they considered going out to a food truck for a late night snack, with Mortensen sending a text message to her Uber driver she knew at around 2:10 a.m. to see if he was out driving. He replied a few minutes later, but the group ultimately decided against going out and went to bed, with Goncalves and Mogen sharing Mogen's bed in her room on the 3rd floor. Okay, so at 2:26 to 2:52, Goncalves and Mogen made a series of calls to Goncalves' ex-boyfriend, Jack Decor. Her sister revealed the calls all went unanswered. She's back at the door. We ain't playing this game, Mariah. She's like growling at the door. I'm going to let her back in. I'm just going to leave the door open until Vincent gets home. She's so cute. She's like a big teddy bear. You just can't say no to her. She's still standing at the door. She's going to make these horrific. They're going to sound like, it's going to sound like Chewbacca just entered my house, but she just walked away. She's mad at me. Okay. We're going towards Pullman. Okay. So 10 miles away in Pullman, Washington, Kohberger had completed his final preparation for what he believed would be the perfect crime. Using his insider knowledge of forensic science and law enforcement techniques, he would commit a seemingly random murder, leaving behind no incriminatory evidence. Because he had studied criminal minds and crime scenes for years as a student of criminology, Kohberger knew the limitations of royal law enforcement. He would, in his mind, use that to his advantage. Nobody would be able to link him to what he had planned. At 2:44 a.m., Kohberger left his apartment on the Washington State University campus in Pullman, Washington, and got into his white Hyundai Elantra. He began the short drive south in the direction of the victim's home. At 2:47, Kohberger switched off his mobile phone with just minutes into his journey. He knew if his phone was on, it would keep pinging its location off nearby cell towers. Detectives can use these cell towers to triangulate the location of the phone to within a few feet in an urban area or 100 yards in rural or remote parts of the country. As a phone checks in with a new cell tower, it leaves behind a digital footprint which can be tracked. Kohberger was determined not to leave any cyber breadcrumbs for the inevitable police investigation. I feel like he left just enough, though, you know? Surveillance cameras filmed Kohberger as he crossed the state line an hour before he launched his brutal attack, and this is at 3:02. So this is when he's crossed the state line to over to, Idaho. At 3:30, when he reached 1122 King Road, Kohberger circled the area around the home in his Hyundai 3 times. Multiple surveillance cameras from homes and businesses picked up his car, making repeated loop around the scene. Get in here. Get in here now in this blanket. Oh, she's so cute. Okay, so did I read that one or no? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, yeah, I did. So this is going to be like the house portion. Okay, so at 3:59, by this time, all of the roommates are in their rooms, many of them sleeping. Make my screen a little bit bigger. Oops, I don't know what I just did there. Kernodle, however, was still awake. She had ordered a DoorDash takeout order from Jack in the Box in Pullman. So the DoorDash driver, a 44-year-old woman, delivered the food to Kernodle at 3:59 a.m. Minutes later, Kohberger circled the crime scene in his car one final time. He had decided it was time to carry out his murderous plot. On his final loop, Kohberger did a U-turn and parked his car near the target house and exited his vehicle. I don't know if you guys can hear her, but either before or after dropping off the DoorDash, the driver noticed Kohberger. She later claimed to officers following her arrest over an unrelated matter. It is not clear what she saw or if she got a clear view of the killer. Dressed in head to toe in black with a black balaclava over his head and armed with a K-bar knife, Kohberger stepped through the sliding door leading to the kitchen at the back of the second story of 1122 King Road. And that's at 407, between 407, and this happens between 407 and 420. The whole incident happened. His victims had no idea that a callous Killer was about to strike. Inside, Kohberger headed straight to the stairs leading up to the third floor, according to Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson. He entered Mogen's bedroom where he found her and Goncalves sleeping together in her bed. Now, see, that doesn't make any sense to me, right? Then he just didn't even check the other bedroom. I just don't get that. Or if he did, like, the dog would have, like, blood on him, right? Or, yeah, Murphy would be covered. Or he'd have a little bit on him, you'd think. Mogen, who had been drinking, is believed to have been asleep when her killer stabbed her to death with a military-style knife. I know you need me. I know. She needs me, sorry. Goncalves woke up during the attack, and Kohberger repeatedly punched and stabbed her, according to her parents. Trapped between the bedroom wall and her best friend's body, she didn't stand a chance against the killer and his weapon. During the commotion, Kohberger left his brown leather K-bar knife sheath next to Mogen's body on the bed. The clasp of the sheath, featuring a military seal, was later tested and found to have Kohberger's DNA on it. It also contained Mogen and Goncalves' blood. Mortensen, whose bedroom was on the second floor alongside Kernodle's, had been asleep but was awoken at around 4 a.m. by the strange noises inside the home. She heard a commotion upstairs. What she thought at the time sounded like Goncalves playing with her dog Murphy. She then heard a voice which she believed was Goncalves, but is now believed to be Kernodle, saying, "There's someone here." Mortensen looked out her bedroom door, but didn't see anything. At 4:12, Kernodle was still awake, just having got her food order, and was on TikTok, according to analysis on her cell phone. Kohberger made his way back downstairs to the second floor. He saw Kernodle and attacked her in a most furious fashion, leaving her mortally wounded just inside her bedroom door. Mortensen heard what she thought sounded like crying coming from Kernodle's room or the bathroom on the second floor, and peeked round her bedroom door a second time. She again saw nothing. Thank you, Miss Southpaw. I appreciate that. Thank you. The super sticker. That's very nice. I can't hit the... It lets me hit the like heart. I swear this iPad hates me. Thank you so much. So we read that one. Okay. Oh, she's licking her paw. She's happy. She then heard Kohberger telling her friend, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Kohberger stabbed Kernodle multiple times while the 20-year-old student fought for her life. At 4:17, a security camera on the home next door, close to Kernodle's room, picked up the sound of a whimper and a loud thud as the mass killer claimed another victim. Oh, look at the little dog. A dog, possibly Murphy, a golden doodle who was in Goncalves' bedroom on the third floor, was heard barking multiple times. Kernodle's body was later found on her bedroom floor with multiple stab wounds. After killing Kernodle, Kohberger found Chapin asleep in his girlfriend's bed and stabbed him multiple times. Confused by the strange noises inside the home, Mortensen opened her bedroom for a third time. At that moment, Kohberger was walking towards her. She did not know or recognize him, but noticed he was tall and white with bushy eyebrows, was dressed in all black and a mask, and was carrying an object in his hand. While she was frozen to the spot with fear, Kohberger walked past her bedroom door towards the kitchen, where he left the house through the same door he had entered. It is not clear if Kohberger saw Mortensen standing there or why he thankfully spared her. Mortensen had no idea that her 4 friends had just been murdered inside their home and that she had just come face to face with their killer. If I was doing a victim's impact statement, I would, if I was Dylan, probably. I would ask him straight up just to see what his reaction is. That would be a question that I would have. That would be just a question I would have in my soul. Like, did he see me? Did he spare me? I mean, like, you'd have survivor's guilt. You would just have that. And I would even say to him, like, I know you're not going to answer this question, truthfully, but did you see me that night? And just to see his, maybe he'll give a reaction to that, right? That could give her an answer, but shoot, I would want to know. I don't think he saw her. I really don't. I think that, like, I just think that room looked like a bathroom or something. It was just weird to have like a bedroom right there. And I think he was just dead set on like getting that back slider door. Or he was either doing that or going back up to grab the knife sheath. And then he did see her and he was like, wait a minute. I just saw her. And then he walked out. Like, maybe it took him a couple steps before he realized what he saw. I don't know. But we'll find out, hopefully, in court documents. We'll find out more, hopefully, anyway. So at 4:19, terrified and confused by what she had just seen, she frantically began calling and texting her roommates. She and Funk spoke briefly on the phone, and she told her she thought she had seen someone inside their home. The records showed the 2 survivors desperately called and texted the 4 victims, but got no answer. Kohberger sped away from the scene in his car at 4:20. Surveillance footage from the neighboring home at 1122 King Road captured the vehicle almost losing control as it turned the corner, going north and then turning south as it headed out of town. It had taken just 13 minutes for Kohberger to kill all 4 victims. Okay, I think that was all of it. Yeah. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. I thought it was all of it. I don't know why that's there, like in the middle of it, but it is. Terrified and confused. I thought I needed to go to a different page. And confused by what she had seen inside the house, Mortensen frantically began calling and texting her roommate Funk, who she had also rang briefly, tried to. Mortensen and Funk exchanged a string of panic text. And you can see them kind of on your screen. These are all the ones that Dylan sent. Dylan saying, no one is answering. I'm really confused right now. Mortensen then sent 2 unanswered texts to Goncalves. Kaylee, Dylan said, what's going on? She got no reply. In a back and forth with Funk, the 2 young students tried to piece together what was going on inside their home. Bethany says, yeah, dude, what the fuck? WTF. She says, Xana was wearing all black. And then Dylan says, I'm freaking out right now. Dylan says, no, it's like ski mask almost. Bethany says, STFU. And then she says, Bethany says, actually. Dylan says, like he had something over his forehead and little mouth. And little and mouth. And then Dylan said, I think it's supposed to be Bethany. I'm not kidding. I'm so freaked out. With Mortensen panicking that her phone was also about to run out of battery, Funk urged her friend to come down to her room. Bethany said, come to my room. And she said, told her to run. While she ran, she said she noticed Kernodle lying on the floor of her bedroom, but believed she was just drunk. The 2 students locked themselves inside Funk's room and continued trying to contact Chapin, Mogen, Kernodle, and Goncalves by phone, text, and through social media apps such as Snapchat and Instagram. So it shows you here on the map, she came around the living room and she went down the stairs to that back bedroom. So from 5 to 6:30, Mortensen was still on her phone, including creating, editing, and deleting images and video. The 2 survivors stopped using their cell phones for a brief period where they appeared to fall asleep. At 7:30 a.m., Funk called her father. At 8:05, Mortensen was back awake on her cell phone when she started using social media apps, including Instagram, Indeed, Snapchat, Yik Yak, and TikTok. Didn't Bryan have a Yik Yak account? Thought he did. Or maybe that was hers. They had the I can't think of the word, the warrant for, but I thought it was his. He did? Yeah, I've never heard of Yik before, but she has one too, I guess. Like, I didn't know about it before this case. I don't know. So then 8:41 to 8:42, Funk took several photos on her cell phone. At 10 a.m., Mortensen and Funk were still locked inside Funk's bedroom. Believing their roommates should be waking up, they called and texted them repeatedly. So about a half hour after Bryan leaves the house, he's like, oh, no one's thinking anything's going on, right? He's like, from 9:12 to 9:21, he was in the area. He goes over there, and by 10 o'clock, they are calling and they're trying to wake them up, or they're trying to see what's going on, but he doesn't realize that. So then at 10:23, Mortensen to Mogen. So as she's going to start, writing Mogen and Goncalves and like everybody, are you up? Are you up? Are you up? This is when Bryan Kohberger would be at his apartment taking the selfie picture. So 10:20 or 10 o'clock, it says Mortensen and Funk still locked inside Funk's bedroom. Believing their roommates should be waking up, they call and text them repeatedly. 10:23, Mortensen to Mogen, are you up? Mortensen to Goncalves about an hour later, are you up? It says are up or whatever, are up. So Mortensen also checked Kernodle and Chapin's Snapchat locations, went on social media apps and texted her father and friend. The two survivors still got no response from their 4 friends and became increasingly concerned. At 10:50, Mortensen called her sorority big and neighbor Alant, asking her to come over and check the house because she was scared something strange had happened. Alant had said in an interview with Prime Video that she didn't think anything of it at the time. She and her boyfriend Hunter Johnson and roommate Josie Lauteran walked over to 1122 King Road. When they got there, they found Mortensen and Funk standing outside the front door. So like, okay, if you're running down, right, and you see Xana laying in her bedroom and you think she's just drunk, you're going to go down and you're probably going to tell Bethany that, right? You're going to say, Bethany, yeah, I saw Xana and it looked like she was just like, on the floor, and she looked like she was like drunk. So wouldn't you think before Dylan calls anybody, like being Bethany, you wouldn't be as scared if you're Bethany, right? Like you didn't see the person. I don't know. Wouldn't Bethany be like, I'm going to go up there and get Xana? She's just passed out on the floor. Why aren't we not going and getting her? She just passed out. I don't know. Just everything. I just want answers to everything. I have a lot of questions. And nothing about the victims or anything. There's nothing wrong with what they did. I'm wondering like if they felt that, they could do that. So Johnson went inside the home first, and the students began walking up the stairs from the first to the second floors. He found the bodies of his best friends, Chapin and Kernodle, inside her bedroom. Johnson ordered the others out of the home before they could see and told them to call 911. Or maybe they called their parent or their dad or whatever, called their dad, and he was like, I don't like, maybe the fathers were like, is this something that Xana normally does? Does she normally sleep passed out on her floor? And maybe they're like, no. And then that's when they started getting, like they needed to call 911 or someone else over. So the students passed the phone between them. So it says a haunting 911 call was placed from Funk's cell phone. That was at 11:56. And Bethany Funk says, hi, something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what we have. The students passed the phone between them as they cried and panicked. One of them told the dispatcher one of their friends was passed out and not waking up. Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night, one of the callers said. The last call just over 4 minutes. By that time, the first officer had arrived on scene. Oh, who blocked Ashley? Shoot, yeah. I'm like the worst at this because I always forget how to like. Okay, I got to look for you. And they don't put it in an easy order, so. Maybe after this, we can get rid of some of these. And thank you for the super sticker. That got my attention. Oh no, Ashley, I'm trying to find you. They don't put this like in any good order. Like nothing like we can't type in a name. We just gotta go through everybody that's blocked. Which mine are just Bryan Kohberger accounts, a lot of them. Oh wait. Oops. How come I'm not seeing her? What do you mean it's way up there? I don't know how to undo the timeout. Can you guys look it up and see if you guys can figure that out? Because I don't know how to undo a timeout. I really don't. I mean, if she was blocked, I can undo a block. I know there's a way to undo it. But that I don't know. Okay, so can someone time her out again? Thank you, Mariska. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Let me know. So it says, okay, and that's Kohberger's escape. While the survivors were panicking inside the home, Kohberger was fleeing the scene, but he did not drive straight home to Pullman. Instead, he went in this arduous journey, heading south of Moscow and driving on the back roads through rural, isolated areas, intentionally trying to avoid surveillance cameras along the main highways. If you just go on her name. Okay, hold on, guys. I can only go up so far, too. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't go up any further than you guys can go up. So, if you would have caught it sooner, yeah. I just, there's nothing I could do. So this is the possible route driven based on off of mobile phone location data. Who timed her out anyway? At 4:48, once he felt he was far enough from the scene, Kohberger turned his cell phone back on. He then drove back towards Pullman. At 5:30, Kohberger finally arrived back at his apartment in Pullman. Several surveillance cameras picked up his car after it entered the city from the south. At 6:17, Kohberger made 3 calls to a number registered to his dad, Michael, one of them lasting 54 minutes, according to cell phone records obtained by Dateline. At 9, around 5 hours on from the horrific murders, Kohberger returned to the crime scene of the crime. He left his apartment in Pullman and drove back to 1122 King Road. From 9:12 to 9:21, he stayed there for around 10 minutes with his phone hitting the cell towers close to the property. Why he returned and what exactly he did during that short window, only he knows. But at that point, the murders had not yet been discovered. Kohberger then headed straight back to his apartment. If one of the mods can just scroll back on the live, right, it should pull up the old live chat. I would think. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm just trying to think of things as I do the presentation at the same time. So then at 9:30, Kohberger arrived back at his apartment. 10:30, Kohberger appeared to have taken a shower and then posed for a chilling selfie in his bathroom mirror. I don't know if that's his bathroom mirror, is it? No, I think that's like him like taking the photo. Right? Like if he was holding the phone with one hand, I don't even know my phone. There's my phone. Oh, I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. I think if you just go down to this, like the smallest amount of seconds. Like, I'm afraid to put somebody in timeout. I don't want to put anyone in timeout, so I'm afraid to do anything. In a creepy photo, he was seen with damp hair. There he is. That could be gel. Sporting earphones and a pristine, in a pristine, I don't know if that's really pristine, white shirt buttoned all the way up to the collar. Yeah, why are we button them all the way up there? Like I mean, you know. Plastered across his face was a haunting grin as he gave a thumbs up to the camera with his bushy eyebrows clearly visible. Look at them things. But no more. No more eyebrows. Kohberger then drove to the areas of the Clearwater River and the Snake River in Lewis and Clarkson Valley, around 30 miles south of Moscow and Pullman. He stopped at various businesses in the area. It is unclear what Kohberger did during that time or if he disposed of critical evidence of the murders. So Kohberger grew up in a quiet rural neighborhood in the Pocono region of Pennsylvania with his parents Michael and Mary Ann and older sisters Amanda and Melissa. As a child, he was shy and overweight. Former classmates said he was a bully. In his teenage years, Kohberger began using heroin, an addiction that resulted in multiple rehab stints and an incident where his father called police after he stole his sister's cell phone and sold it for drugs. After getting clean, Kohberger turned his attention to pursuing an education in criminology. First, he went to DeSales University in Pennsylvania, where he earned a degree in psychology and a master's in criminal justice under renowned serial killer expert Dr. Catherine Ramsden. In the summer of 2022, he then moved across the country to enroll in a criminology Ph.D. program at Washington State University, just over the border from the University of Idaho campus. As part of his education, Kohberger learned about the minds of killers and the intricate details about crime scenes. Kohberger made an elementary error on November 13th, 2022, which left him with the possibility of facing a firing squad until his dramatic 11th hour guilty plea to avoid execution. Investigators working on the case soon realized their suspect was forensically aware with the then 27-year-old. He was 28. So what was it? When was this? Taking active measures. Okay. Thinking that they meant 28, but taking active measures to avoid being directly linked to the crime scene. During the first minutes of his frenzied attack, he unsheathed his K-bar knife, a weapon used by the U.S. Marine Corps in 1942, or since we should say. Kohberger's knife was carried in a tan leather sheath, which he dropped on the bed next to Mogen's right side. Forensic experts in the Idaho State Lab were able to recover a single source of male DNA on the button snap of the knife sheath. When he secured the knife in the sheath, he wasn't as careful as he thought. His oversight gave investigators a major break in the case. But without a DNA profile to compare their sample with, the investigation faced significant problems. The next break involved a painstaking review of surveillance footage around King Road in Moscow, looking for a suspicious car. Here, Kohberger made another error, which produced a further thread which investigators could follow. Officers spotted a white sedan, designated suspect vehicle 1, driving suspiciously around the crime scene before the attack. Following the attack, the car left the area at speed, almost losing control, but having identified a suspect vehicle, officers were able to track it on its way out of Moscow towards Whitman County, Washington, and eventually Pullman, approximately 10 miles away. Kohberger drove on back roads, investigators believe, to avoid being captured on traffic cameras. Detectives called in the FBI, which possesses a team dedicated to identifying cars from surveillance footage. They were able to determine it was a Honda Elantra. If they had been driving an American vehicle, such as a Ford F-150 truck, far more common on U.S. roads, police would have had a more difficult job identifying Kohberger's ride. On November 25th, Moscow PD issued an alert to neighboring police forces to keep an lookout for any white Hyundai Elantras in their area. Where was I at? 4 days later, on November 29th, Washington State University police officer Daniel Tenego saw a white Elantra on the side of the street. The car was registered to Kohberger. A review of records found that Kohberger had been stopped by the Latah County Sheriff's Department on August 21st, 2022, at the time he provided the deputy with his phone number. This allowed detectives to pull his cell phone records, which often produced vital evidence linking a suspect to a crime. Oh, Ashley's back. Oh, there we go. Do we make it back? Are we good? I'm over here thinking, where is Vincent? It was Ashley Higgins we were worried about, right? We're not, well, another Ashley out there, I don't think. It was just 1 minute. I thought we had her timed out for like 18 years or something. I was afraid, that one that's like really long, that it really is, it's like 18,000 seconds or something. I don't know. But I was just like, I was thinking, where is Vincent? Because I know Vincent is like a managing mod. He's like in the upper, I don't know, where he could do all the stuff. He could probably like look up your name or something. I don't know. I was just like, where is he? So, okay, I'm glad I looked at the chat. Half an hour. Good golly. Well, I'm going to have to figure that out. We're going to have to figure that out. The mods in me will have to figure that out. I think I heard Vincent. He's usually here, It felt like a million years. I'm over here like trying to read, but I'm like going through my head like, where's Vincent? What's he doing? Okay, well, I'm glad you're back. There he is. I knew he was here. I knew it. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I knew he was here. Okay. Oh, it seemed like it was forever. Where are we at? Okay, so Kohberger drove on back roads. I just read that. So investigators believe to avoid being captured on traffic cams. Detectives called in the FBI, which possesses. Okay, I already read that. Okay, on November 25th, Moscow PD issued an alert to neighboring police forces to keep a lookout for any white Hyundai Elantras in the area. 4 days later, on November 29th, Washington State University police officer Daniel Tenego saw a white Elantra on the side of the street. The car was registered to Kohberger. A review of records found that Kohberger had been stopped by the Latah County Sheriff's Department on August 21st, 2022. At the time, he provided the deputy with his phone number. It allowed detectives to pull his cell phone records, which can produce vital evidence linking a suspect to a crime. I was trying to get it off of that so it didn't make anybody have a seizure like that movement. My goodness. Sorry, guys. However, at the time of the murder, Kohberger's cell phone had gone dark. Corporal Brett Payne of Moscow PD provided an explanation. Individuals can either leave their cellular telephone at a different location before committing a crime or turn their cellular telephone off prior to going to a location to commit a crime. This is done by suspects in an effort to avoid alerting law enforcement that a cellular device associated with them was in a particular area when a crime is committed. Lead prosecutor Bill Thompson said, the defendant has studied crime. In fact, he did a detailed paper on crime scene processing when he was working on his Ph.D. and he had that knowledge skill set. I mean, but I think anybody could have that knowledge skill set if they looked it up, right? Having identified Kohberger as a potential suspect, his phone records said he had a contract with AT&T linked to an address in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania on December 27th, 2022. FBI agents dressed as sanitation workers took trash from outside of Kohberger's family's home in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. The following day, the Idaho State Laboratory reported that the Q-tip found on the trash provided a DNA link, which would exclude 99.9998% of the male population from being the suspect's biological father. Kohberger was arrested at his parents' home on December 30th, 2022. That's the end of his story. Well, pretty much. Doesn't she look squeaky? Yeah. That's called stress. She saw me 3 years ago. I was as small as her. Maybe smaller, actually. I was looking at pictures of me the other day and I was like, you look like a whole different person, girl. But I think she looks great. Either way. And then a lot of people, I'm going to say this, a lot of people were like, well, she was pregnant. She had her baby, what was it, January? The next month? Like December, January? Because they named her after the girls. She had her baby like quick. So it was like, no, she wasn't pregnant this whole 2 years. We just haven't seen her. That's why. It's because we have not seen her. Like we saw her like when she was not pregnant. She did an interview after the babies were here. Well, one baby. She only had one baby this time, but she might be, but I don't know. I think it's just stress. I know I worked at a job that stressed me out completely. It was just a job. So I can't even imagine what she's going through. But I went down to 95 pounds from like 140. And yeah. But yeah, I think that she has 4 kids now. Yeah. She has 4. Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder if she had babies after, because we were thinking because I was like, I thought she only had 2, but maybe she had 2 after. Oh my goodness, girl. If that's the case, then that's a lot of babies all at once. I wonder, but I think she has one that's older she was talking about. I'm not sure. Yeah, she was pregnant. She had 2 after. Okay. Because yeah, she had Theodora Maddie K was her baby's name. Theodora Maddie K was the middle name. So, okay. So this part is where Brian Enton comes in. I want to share this with you. He comes in and talks about, he went to the supermax, inside the supermax prison that Bryan Kohberger could spend the rest of his life in. So I guess tomorrow after he's done with his stuff or whatever, actually I want to share this with you too, but after he's done with his stuff, he will go maybe over to the supermax prison. I don't know. Oh, so let me know what you guys think, if that's what's going to happen. I just clicked off of this, so I didn't mean to do that. I just didn't want to use play the Olivia. This is the Olivia interview, but I didn't want to play this part because we already listened to that last night. There it is. Okay.
Let's go right now to News Nation senior correspondent Brian Enton live for us outside the Supermax.
So he's at the Supermax. I'm going to turn. Okay, I turned it up all the way. Okay, and he's going to go inside, I guess, and check it out.
Prison in Idaho, where Kohberger is likely going to spend the rest of his life. Brian, you got a tour of that prison today. It's known to be a tough one.
It is, Elizabeth. They don't normally let people inside, but we just wrapped up this tour. We walked through the whole place. We're about 25 minutes south of Boise right now, really just in the middle of the desert. Right beyond that guard house behind me, that's where Bryan Kohberger will likely spend the rest of his life. And I'll tell you, after walking through the whole place, it is not a very nice existence there. Take a look at this.
So this is the Idaho Maximum Security Institution. You can see the double barbed wire. This is where the most dangerous and violent people in Idaho are housed. We're going to go inside with this tour. Very, very rare look at what it's like on the inside. This is the area of the prison where Bryan Kohberger could end up. Long-term restrictive housing and what's known as closed custody, protective custody, where prisoners who could be hurt by the population go, or prisoners who could hurt others have to stay. The prisoners here are inside these cells 23 hours a day. All food and water is sent into the cells through these little doors. They can sit at these
Did you see that?
tables
Hold
that
on.
are secured to
Hold on. Is he going to say that they're going to be secured to these?
the tables with shackles or put into these cages.
Okay. Shut the front door. He's going to be done, son. They're not going to seriously. That's, hey, you reap what you sow, but not, the cage is the cage is one thing, right? The cage is safety. I feel like that's safety, but like this, I had to think about it for a minute. These, okay, this is giving me Wentworth vibes, but if you've seen that show, they have like a spot where like in that show, like they would chain up people, like, and you would have to sit there. And then other inmates would like come and like beat the crap out of you, like, or whatever, or guards or whatever it may be. But oh my, maybe he should have just stuck with the death penalty and just went on death row. I mean, he could have become friends with Chad, Daybell. I almost called him Doberman. Maybe him too. He could have, been friends with the other people that were all, with the big glasses that were been in there since the 80s, 90s. I mean, he could have probably lived a pretty long life back there. But wow. Yeah.
The population go, or prisoners who could hurt others have to stay. The prisoners here are in.
And they're going to consider him like he's a violent offender. Like what he did, he took 4 lives. But when you look at him in court, and he doesn't say anything, he doesn't wild out like some, criminals do. It's like, I wonder what he's going to do when he gets to prison. He's no like Taylor business, Maybe she can like teach him a thing or two.
These cells 23 hours a day. All food and water is sent into the cells through these little doors. They can sit at these tables.
I think anywhere Kohberger goes, they're all going to know him. Anywhere in the country. Anybody that watches the news.
But are secured to the tables with shackles or put into these cages where they can use tablets for visitation. While we were watching, we saw inmates doing something called fishing, when they use strings from blankets or a t-shirt to send notes under the door. That's why these bean bags are placed at the foot of the door to stop them from doing it. Almost every inmate can buy a tablet to have in their cell for $100. It has music, email, and movies. And they can also buy a TV to keep in their cell, which has basic cable. This is the outdoor area where the prisoners can go 1 hour a day. Some have to stay in these cages because they are so dangerous. For prisoners who are in protective custody, they may also get time here in the library or the computer lab. Sexual offenders and murderers of young women and children can be shunned by the population here, which could be an issue for a high-profile inmate like Bryan Kohberger. Though we're told after the newness wears off, most inmates begin to fit in.
And Elizabeth, I think the thing that surprised me the most was that every inmate, regardless of where they are, can buy a tablet for about $100 where they can actually email from their cell, and they can also buy their own TV, which will remain in the cell. But beyond that, having to stay inside a cell for 23 hours a day, there's not much that's very nice about any of it. Elizabeth?
Well, if you kill 4 people, perhaps it doesn't matter what's nice and comfortable. Bryan.
So I guess he has to stay inside the cell for 23 hours a day? Give me a TV and an iPad and some munchies and I'm good. I could literally... Oh my gosh, I'm already living a prison lifestyle. All my TV is on the iPad. I have a huge TV. We have a huge TV in our bedroom, and I'll be watching on the iPad, and I watch the little screen too. Like, I don't know why. Don't even bring it into the big screen. True Crime Lullabies, bring the snacks. I'll bring the ramen. I'm a cheap girl. And I'll bring some water. Everybody could do some water. I could use some water. I thought the same thing. I'm already living that life. As long as I can have my dogs. We're good. We are good to go. We are so good. Actually, they're out of here. I forgot. I wonder if they're doing anything out there with him. Man, they were just my gray dog didn't feel good today. That's what I do. I use an iPad like a TV. And I used to never like an iPad. Like we bought me an iPad years ago. I mean, I've had my iPad for years and years and years and years. It's like a 7th generation or 7th, whatever it's called. It's an older one, but it's perfectly fine. It works. But Vincent bought it for me for like an anniversary gift or birthday gift or something like that. And I was like, what am I going to do with this iPad? I have a phone, right? I don't know. I just was like, I'll never use this. I never watched YouTube at the time either, though. And then I got into YouTube, watching YouTube. And now I got the iPad stands. I got a really nice stand that I got from what's that place called? Where all the geeky guys go. What I call Micro Center. All the guys there are like, very technical guys. But yeah, they had a really nice like metal one. It doesn't like fall over or anything. I could hurt somebody with that thing. They do levitating elephant. I've seen them. Some jails in other countries, she said, looks like spa meditation rooms. Yep. I have a lot of retirement plan. Yeah. It's like, which country do we need to go to and which law do we need to break to where we won't be like shunned or, just got to break a little law. Oh, I want to stand. Squeaky, I like that idea. I've seen those where you could like put them into the bed or like you can have them going up and down. That would be pretty cool. I would need my fur babies. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I gotta have the kids with me. Speaking of which, I don't know how much grass. Well, I do know how much grass Vincent let Mia eat last night outside. She had a bellyache. You know, when dogs get bellyaches, they eat grass. Did he let her mow a whole yard? Her belly was hurting. Well, today, Ashley, it all came up for Mama. And it gets better. Let me get them. The vacuum was going. The cordless vacuum. Yeah, that's my day. And this is the second time this has happened. But not the same vacuum. Different one. So it was all chunks of like grass. So that it wasn't like anything but that, but it was like everywhere. I got out of the shower and I looked out in the living room and I was like, oh my God. I have to laugh about it because if I don't laugh, I just won't deal with life. I always picture it going out like the back door because I'll have like the back door open sometimes. And I just like picture just escaping away from me, right? I could picture that happening. But yeah. And then she was trying to eat it. Like, oh, I was like, don't eat it. I'll get it. Now people here only touch the grass. Yeah, just touch the grass. Don't eat it. Sorry, Ashley. I tried to make that not as non-bad as I could. But I left the vacuum out there for Vincent because last time I broke it. I'm pretty sure that was me. I put like water or something, not water in it because that sounds crazy. That's crazy talk. But I did something. I messed up a sensor. I don't know. I think it's because I was like doing with the Q-tip. I don't know. Your vacuum went and cleaned your deck once. See, that's what I'm afraid that's going to happen. See, now that could be cool though. I've always heard it's because belly aches, right? What did Ashley say? Oh, to puke. Thank you, mom-in-law. That sounds right. That sounds right. Because it seemed like she wanted to like, yeah, she didn't feel good. Like this morning I looked at her when I got up and I was like, why are you not laying on me? Like she was just curled up in a little ball and like normally she's on me, like touching me, pushing on me, pushing me out of the bed. And I'm just like, And so she got sick and I was like, okay, maybe she'll feel better. But then she didn't. She just seemed really down. And I took her to the bathroom, took a walk, Came back in. That's when I took the shower. Actually, I went to I wanted to work out into the pool, and then I came back up to take a shower. The second I touch something, it breaks. I was eating ice cream yesterday in a brand new white sweater. I swear it's every day something. It's just something funny though. It's just, you got to laugh. Like, I mean, really, what else you going to do, right? You can cry. So I look down and I'm eating this chocolate yogurt because I'm fat and I have to have it every day of my life. I'm really not fat, but I have to eat a lot of it. I love frozen yogurt. And it like dripped down and I was like, no. But Vincent got it out. Gotta say, let the guy do. I sprayed like Tide stuff on it and then I walked away. I was so mad at it. And if that was me, it would have been a ruined sweater. Just would have been ruined. But there he went and he just got the stains out. He's like, you have to get the stains out first. I thought that was pretty funny. I love white. ATX. I love white. I shouldn't wear it, but I love it. But I don't know what that spray is that I've got, but it works. But I'm gonna tell you, if I'm one of those, I do not like tedious work. That's tedious to me. I'm surprised we could sit me in this chair for as long as we do. Because I'm one of those people, I like to be moving and grooving. That's what I should have did, Mariska. I usually do, but I had my hair in those stupid little things so you can, like, heatless curls. Why did the person name like that? Because I do. He came. That's the definition of shouting it out right there. I was like, I ain't doing this. I love wearing white. It's so, like, I don't know, just a clean look. Yeah, Carrie would have been horrified. Yeah, well, I couldn't believe Vincent got it out. I was like, there's no way. I mean, chocolate ice cream does not usually come out of white. And it went like right down it. I was like, oh gosh, it's so bad. And he got it out. I was like, don't dry it so I could check it. And then I checked it. I was like, I don't see anything. So then I washed it again to double check. And if it's on there, then it's fine. That'd be my own fault because I tried it already now. But I'm going to jump off here. I wanted to just come on and do a short live with you guys because tomorrow is going to be a long day for us. We are going to be hearing about, and we might go over this podcast in the morning. We're going to be hearing about the sentencing for Bryan Kohberger. I don't know if they're going to do that. Do they do that before or after the impact statements? I guess they'll do it before. It's weird because their impact statements don't make an impact on the sentencing. So it's weird that, like, they usually do it after the impact statements, I would think, but after, I wasn't sure since they were like, I mean, since he was already just pleading guilty and doing what he does. So the West Coast actually, so they switched times. Mariska, he's actually mountain time now because when they moved it to Boise. So when he was up in Latah County, it was 3 hours. Now it's 2 hours. So mountain time. So so when you go out of this live, it'll take you into that live for tomorrow. And then you can just hit notify me, but it's at 10:45 a.m. tomorrow morning. Yes, Ashley, you better be here. Yeah, if not, put a headphone in and just go on like if you're busy at work or something and just say, hey, I'm in the chat, but or I'm listening. Just so I know you're here, because man, I feel so bad if you're not here. You've literally, I'm like, you got to end this with me. We started something. We're ending it together. This will be the end of the court proceedings anyway, which is, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of bittersweet in a way. Like, because like we're all like this group of people that wanted to figure out this case, which we still have a lot to figure out because there's a lot of paperwork that's going to come out. But it's like it's solved. Bryan Kohberger, hey, the man said he did it. But it's going to be even crazier, I feel like, when After all this, I want jail calls. I want it all. I want all of it. I want all of it. Speaking of jail calls, I'm trying to get, I need an assistant, or maybe I can use like ChatGPT. I'm just kidding. Not ChatGPT. So, I didn't know that I did this. I forgot that I did this. I had like this in my head to do, but I didn't realize I did it. So, okay. I put in a public records request for Sarah Boone, and I wanted to get her jail calls. And they said they just want me to request clarification. So I have 21 days as of 10 hours ago. So I have 21 days to like just put in a better request. You know what I mean? Just to put in like exactly what I want. Like I want jail calls from her from this date to this date at this facility and all that stuff. So, oh yeah, no, I didn't know Xana's mom would be there. I know that she did do an interview. I'm glad to hear that. That's like a full circle moment for her, you know, for Xana's mom. Like, I'm glad that she'll be there. I want everyone just to see how good she looks, because a lot of people don't watch my channel, so they might not see. A lot of people that are not going to, you know, some people won't show that just because it does make her look so good. And I can say, when I am wrong, I am wrong. And you know what? I wasn't wrong about her, but I'm glad she, you know, I'm glad she went to rehab, and I'm glad that she's getting better, and I'm glad that she has her church family. Hey, Christy. Oh man, thousands of hours. Oh yeah, definitely. I have like 500, 600, 700 videos or something like that. Something crazy. I don't even know. They're all still there. So whatever I have is, I might have to go back to my first video. Maybe we'll play that or something tomorrow morning. You forgot about her, Mariska? I didn't. I was like, It's a Karen. She's already saying her appeals lawyer is ghosting her. Yeah. Yeah, I want people to see how well she's doing. She really did. Because there for a while, I was like not on board. Like I was just really upset with her in a way, because I was like, man, I really want her to like get better and have this relation. Like I know she can have a good relationship with Jasmine. And I was like, and then she like skipped out after the funeral, and then she shows up on a YouTuber's page. I'm just like, oh, what's going on with life? And then she had that warrant, and then she's gotten that all taken care of, I guess. And she went to rehab, and now she has a church family, and I love that. Oh, really, Ashley? That's how you found me? So much respect for Xana's mom. Yeah. Yeah. Lived and breathed this case. Jenna, I could hear that. I hear you there. I know, I mean, we have all the paperwork to go through still, but I know once it's like officially everything's out, it'll be really weird. It'd be really weird. But I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to go visit with Vincent for a little bit. I feel like I didn't get to see him that much last night, even though I came on early. But and then I'm going to get some beauty sleep, because I got to wake up and do some things early before the live tomorrow. So have a wonderful evening. I'll see you. I swear I saw the cat just go by, but I didn't. I'm seeing stuff. Okay, time for me to go. Oh, I know. Like I have like notebooks. Oh my gosh. I used to print out the whole internet for this case. Yeah, it's not over by a long shot. Yep. Well, I'm glad you love the live. I'm glad you guys love the live. Thank you. And I'm sorry that we timed you out, Ashley. All right. Well, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, True Crime Lullabies. Have a good night. I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning at 11 or 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The court. Wait. Let me make sure I got that right. Tomorrow it's at 9. Oh yeah, it's at 9. Okay. I was like, wait, I thought it was at 11. I want to double check. So tomorrow's hearing starts at 9 Mountain Time. So it'll be 11 Eastern Standard Time. So I have it all scheduled. It'll send you over after this live. After I hit the end, you should be able to go over there. So I'll see you guys all later. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.
us out.